Yo, what's going on, guys? It is chapter 243. I am so happy that it is here. I'm so happy. So we got a cover illustration with Takaba and Kenjaku, and then going on stage and just kind of like, going back and forth and having a conversation about, just weird comedy stuff, right? Chapter title is Baka Survivor and Be Too Noisy. So that's actually pretty interesting for the chapter itself. And then it goes ahead and starts with Kenjaku didn't have a dad since his mom was always busy. He got too lonely and ended up being an attention seeker. So that's what it was basically kind of describing. So if you guys can see here, we got some dialogue on talking about that. They're kind of joking back and forth about their trauma and shit like that, but it's super funny. And then next we have Kenjaku takes a dark turn in a joke, basically kind of like dark humor. And then they started discussing there. Takaba, you're really brutal in the beginning, and then they just kind of continue having a conversation of how sensitive they are. There you go, it's on screen. I think that Momoroto. Okay, so we got some pretty like crazy actual things here. And then next we have they are making grandma jokes, so going back and forth between them. And then after that, this basically just describes right here that they're just having a yap session and just going back and forth, having like weird jokes or anything like that, right? And then suddenly the atmosphere changes as both Takaba and Kenjaku go silent. Kenjaku asks, "Hey, what's wrong? It's almost over, isn't it?" And then they just stays quiet. Takaba says this is his dream stage. He doesn't want it to end. And as you can see, we got people in the audience and things like that, which is funny. And then Takaba starts crying once again. He said he doesn't want this to end. Kenjaku consoles him, and you can see that there. And then Takaba puts on Kenjaku, and the illusion ends. Back to reality, we see Takaba in white robes, and he says thank you to Kenjaku. And then you can see him kind of looking over him. As Takaba once again thanks him, Kenjaku gives a big wide grin and says Takaba was super funny. And then all of a sudden, Yuta arrives behind and slashes Kenjaku's throat. Kenny did try to use CTR. Kenjaku tried to use his anti-gravity and reverse curse technique, I'm pretty sure. But Yuta was just way more faster than him. He wasn't able to react. As Kenjaku's head gets severed, he wonders how he didn't notice Yuta and his high CE output, which is curse energy output. And then he realizes it was Takaba's doing, basically making too much of a ruckus, right, for him not being able to notice Yuta. Which I'm kind of curious if Yuta would actually still be able to blitz him in that way if Kenjaku knew he was there. But I don't know. We'll find out. Or we wouldn't, but that sucks. Kenjaku heads rolls off with his body, and he talks to Yuta and basically just says, this was my plan all along. Yuta confirms that this was the plan since Takaba can't kill people. Basically just talk back and forth that, hey, what is Kenjaku plotting on the brink of death? And it's funny too, because if you look back at the fight and the way he died, what is it parallel to? It is parallel to the Gojo and Toji fight, because you see him get slashed in the back or appear in the back, right? And then at the other moment you see the other frame where Toji would kind of appear behind him. So it's actually very interesting how it kind of ended in a similar way, right? But yeah, it's super interesting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that chapter. I was very intrigued on what happened. Kenjaku can stop doubting Yuta now. He could definitely stop doing that. But you think Kenjaku is going to go into Gojo's body? That's a question to be seen. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Make sure to subscribe and like, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.